Holy shit, people, we're here. We're doing it again. Karen's Kids Podcast, episode number 16 on that ass, boy. Jose, my man, how we doing?
And I'm doing really good, bro. It's our sweet 16.
Sweet fucking 16. We did it.
Can you believe it?
Been here for like 32 hours of footage of us almost.
Oh, God. Yeah,
give or take.
Pretty much. Something like that.
Cheers, my man.
Cheers, brother.
How about these cocktails that I concocted?
Yeah, what are they exactly? I mean, there's like, I see cherries in there.
Oh my God, how good is that? So what do we got in there? We got 2 parts tequila reposado. Did I say that right? Reposado.
Reposado. Which means rested, I think.
Is that what it means? Aged?
Well, maybe in Spanish. I don't know what it means in Italian.
And then I got, 2 ounces of that. Then I got 1 ounce of simple syrup. Then I got 1 ounce of fresh lime juice. And then topped off with a Luxardo Marciano cherry. Top notch. Fire, boy. This is our second one, by the way.
Yeah, it is really good.
1 shot of Luxardo cherry liqueur. Don't forget that's
right. And then let them know that we paid $25 for the cherries.
20. They were $18.99.
Oh, okay.
Just for the cherries alone.
For the cherries.
I mean, right? But how good is it when you ate that shit?
Dude,
you're like,
really good.
You had the biggest smile, like you just
exactly
like you were a child discovering something for the first time.
Yeah. Because I mean, the cherry it's meaty, right? Mm-hmm. But you could definitely tell the different texture between the skin, which is not like a normal skin, right? It feels like it's obviously fermented, or I don't know if it's dehydrated and rehydrated. I don't know what they do to it.
Right.
But whatever it is, it's not like candy, right? Like there's a difference between like what like a Kit Kat is to what like a very fine chef created.
Oh, it's so good.
Right?
Oh,
it's so good. But a chef created like a creme brulee. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a difference to it. And you could taste it. And you made this.
Right. I said before I wanted to get good at a few cocktails, because I go out to these dinners all the time and these fucking $17 cocktails, and it's like they're so good. I crave them. So I was like, man, I need to get good at making a couple of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, you get like this. There's a feeling of completion when you learn something new, and then you get good at it. Right.
Right.
Right, because right now you're just starting off, so you're like a white belt.
Sure,
but it's good,
dude. I wanna have like guests come over and then me impress them with the cocktail. Like, oh, you just whipped that up. Like, yeah, this whole thing. Yeah,
this little, yeah. I've been making this for years.
Oh, right.
Yeah, definitely. But it is really good. Thank you.
And Jose decided to get some of these cigars,
dude.
So we're celebrating like we hit a big old milestone.
Dude. These are Dominican Republic cigars from La Aurora, and these are the Ecuadors.
I say it's only right that we spark these up.
Let's do it.
Do the damn thing.
All right.
How much were these cigars, by the way?
I believe they were $16 each.
And let's just really hope that I cut it on the right side, because it doesn't look right now.
What do you mean? It looks perfect.
All right, cool.
It looks like a turd, and like it's supposed to look.
And I'm currently lighting it, not with a good torch. I think you need a good torch.
You got to puff on that end.
No, you got to sparkle it, and you got to heat it up a little bit, then you puff on it.
Okay. Well, yeah. There
I think it is.
I'm getting the scent. Well, yeah, everybody. This is episode 16, man.
Episode number 16. Hey,
which is not. I mean.
It's
in
not
the
nothing.
grand scheme of like podcasting, it's not like the.
But it's not nothing.
It's not nothing. I'm gonna take these off. I forgot I even had them on.
I think I'm lit. Here, work your magic with that bad boy. Yeah, man, life's good. Nothing to complain about. We appreciate all you motherfuckers who listen. And I know we get a lot of calls and people talking shit like we got to stay more consistent. We will do our best. Life happens. People working. Me and this guy work tons of hours, tons of overtime. But yeah, we're gonna make sure we stay more consistent with this bad boy. It's fun.
It is, man. What do we get into today?
Yeah, what do you want to talk about today? I don't know. I don't really, we never have anything prepared, but I do jot down some ideas, some things that cross my mind throughout the week. Let's just go on the top of my list. All right. The first thing I got written down, it says wedding overrated. Okay. What do I mean by that? I think people spend illogical amount of money on a wedding. You don't need to spend 40, 50 grand on a wedding. That's like a waste of money in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Did you get that right? I'm down here. You just killed me on my point. Do I have a point? This guy. Don't inhale that motherfucker. You're gonna get the spins.
Yeah. So as far as like weddings go, I mean, it's just God, man. You always wrangle me into these
women
conversations where people start thinking that I hate women. I don't hate women. I love women. But the simple fact of what's happening nowadays is that
either I lit mine backwards or you lit yours backwards. See, that's a mouthpiece, ain't it? I knew I fucked up. You're supposed to cut off the spark. You're going to spark? I thought you cut off the mouth.
I don't know. We'll figure this out. We're learn.
Fucking amateurs. Yeah, there's somebody watching like, oh, one of you guys are an idiot.
We're idiots. We are idiots. Look at what we're doing. We're idiots. What do you want?
Yeah, right. Oh well, I'm sorry, I cut you off. So wedding, I get you into these easy layups where you could bash on women because I know that's what you're about to do.
No. I don't bash on women. I feel like relationships have changed so much, and it's because the dynamic between men and women have changed. They've changed so much that now men are deciding to no longer live their life the way they used to. Now, I've said on this podcast very loudly, very clearly that I am a traditional man, but today's women don't live a traditional life, which for me makes it very difficult to find somebody special, right? Right? Because what exactly is that? What does that mean? Like because I mean, they want the princess lifestyle, right?
Okay.
Till they get it, I think.
Most, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what does it mean to be a princess?
Yeah, right.
Because the whole wedding thing, it kind of seems like you're getting like the prince and.
Well, look, who else but a really extremely rich person would spend $50,000 on a one night thing?
I don't know if like.
So we got all these average people, right, who are middle class, like. Spending for just like I said, it's illogical. It seems like these women spend like 8, 10, God knows how much on a dress that you're gonna wear one time. It doesn't really make much sense. And then you're doing this whole thing, and I know you want to have a big party, and it's like a whole you're trying to make an event, but you just spend too much. Think you could for $50,000, you could probably buy some kind of. You could buy a house. You could buy another property. You could buy a 2-flat that brings you some passive income. It's like I don't know. I just don't get it.
Right. $50,000 is enough to change your life, right? If you make the right decisions.
What would you do with 50 grand?
Well,
that would change your life.
I mean, when I say change your life, it doesn't have to be for the better. It can change your life.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? If you decide, it depends where you're at. Mentally, right? If you're the type of guy that is like, I'm going to take that $50,000, I'm going to transform that into $100,000, because you could start a business, right? We work for a company that started 40 years ago, roughly with $30,000, and a few years ago,
it's more than 40. It's like 43 years now.
Yeah. So a few years ago, they recorded something like 55 million, right? for 1 year in profits.
Right. For sure.
So you could do something like that, and obviously that's the long game, or you could really like fuck up your life, right? You could just go out and buy $50,000 worth of blow, right? Sell it.
That's at least a key. That's more than a key, right?
You could sell it.
I don't know what the market is for a key, but I think it's like 35.
I mean, you could do a little bit. You could party, right? You could sell a little bit, and you could do that, and then you could get caught, and you could fuck up your complete life. So that's what I mean. It will change your life for the better, for the worse. Either way, it will change your life.
Yeah, what I wouldn't, that 50 grand would, if someone handed it to me, none of it would go towards like bullshit. That 50 grand would try to make me more money. None of it would be to celebrate. None of it would be.
What would you do exactly?
Honestly, the only thing that I know is try to buy some property.
Okay, I mean,
I was looking into land lately. I just want to see like plots of land that were for sale. I just want to see what shit goes for.
Okay, like in the city,
all around,
anywhere.
Okay.
Well, what's the difference exactly?
Well, they're in price, but like, let's say on the west side, you can buy a plot of land that you could build a house on for like, I've seen some for $8,000. Now, I don't know if that comes with a bunch of property tax that are unpaid, like the fine line shit. But then you can find a plot of land unbuilt on in like Wicker Park for like 400 grand. So then to build another property on top of that, you're putting another probably $500,000, I would imagine, or more, to build like a 3 flat or something to try to, rent it out and make money on it. But
it is a gamble, regardless of whatever you get, whether you decide to start a legit business or go into an illegal outfit or buy property. It's always a gamble, but obviously you got to weigh it out whether it's going to be safe enough for you or you want more risk. But as far as like buying property, I mean, I have like these romantic ideas of like one day owning enough land where I could move in my less fortunate family, right? But keep them enough at a distance where they're not going to bother me, because I am an introvert. Believe it or not, I am an introvert, and I need my moment. I need my time. I need you to leave me the fuck alone when I need to be left alone, right? So I do have those moments, but have enough of land where they can live their life and they don't have to worry about shit. But again, it's romantic, right? I'm probably never going to do anything like this, but I like to think about it.
I've thought about that. Like if I hit some kind of lottery for an absurd amount of money, it'd be cool to buy like a cul-de-sac or build like a cul-de-sac where like you have properties for all your family and close friends, but you're in separate houses. So you can have that where it's like we're all still close to each other, but like if I want to get the fuck away from everybody, I still can.
Yeah. But I mean, like, what would you put on that land? For me, I'm thinking like a pond, right?
Okay, I thought about that. Okay, go ahead, keep going.
Yeah, no. I think I should have a pond. I should have like, it's got to be like clean enough where you could swim in it, but you could fish in it. Big enough where you could boat in it, right? Have like. There wouldn't be like I wouldn't have like a yearly family reunion thing. No, it would just be like, hey, it's Thursday. I bought a bunch of steaks for everybody. Let's meet at the lake for dinner. And we're out there picnicking.
Right.
It's kind of romantic, I think.
So I don't know if I've talked about this on the pod before, but I would, if money was an issue, I would buy a plot of land and build like a badass compound. I need it by fresh water.
Okay.
So some kind of pond, some real like an actual river or something, because I want to build like I don't want to say like necessarily like a doomsday property, but like I want to be 100% sufficient.
Oh shit!
I want like I seen this program one time about they were called Earth homes. And okay. These people built.
Isn't that like every home though?
No. They built it at like 100% sustainable. So what they would do is half of it would be underground. So they built like in the hills, like something or like along where there's a hill, because you want to build half of your property is underground. They built it with like tires, reused junk tires, where like the walls of things, and then they had filtration systems for all the water to collect so it can be reused. It was like this whole self-sustaining thing. They had their own.
That's interesting because like if you could actually do that, so if you could build yourself, now you called it a compound. Mm-hmm. Is that what I heard?
Mm-hmm. I would have like 8 foot.
How many wives would you end up having? Oh, and God. Be careful here.
I think 3 would be good.
Come on, 3.
If they could all be copacetic. So you could have the different types. You got to have the different types. You got to have
you mean like a hood rat and like a really good church girl, and then you want you want a whore.
For me, it'd be body types. I need 3 different body types.
All right, give me names as far as like stars.
Oh shit, I don't know anyone like that.
You want somebody to look like Miley Cyrus?
I don't even know what she looks like anymore.
She's too skinny.
Right. I don't want that.
I'm Hispanic. I need hips.
100%.
Because they don't lie.
That's what Shakira said.
That's what she said. Shakira.
Yeah. Didn't she just recently, I think she just got, divorced or broke up with her mans or something? I think she's recently single.
Well,
go for it.
He was a billionaire.
If she's into podcasters with 50 followers.
Oh, damn. There it is. Yeah. Shakira, hit me up.
Right. These fucking drinks, I'm pretty positive this is the same drink that's at Laverne's in Berwyn. I just recreated a drink that I love, and I'm so happy that I figured it out because it's good.
Pretty good, people. I mean, we're not just tooting our own horn here. It actually is really good.
I've become a little bit of a cocktail snob lately.
Okay.
So I've been going to a lot of restaurant with the girlfriend, and I'm really into any kind of house cocktail, something there, and I just crave cocktails now. I never would consider myself a drinker. Never thought I would be one. But lately, I've been just craving them. It's undeniable that I enjoy a goddamn good cocktail.
Now, for the people that don't know, you also you like marinating in the marijuanas?
I dabble.
And so,
I fiddle.
So obviously, what do you prefer? Or is it do you pick one for certain occasions?
Are you talking about strains or?
No, as far as is drink or marijuana, what's your favorite? What?
Well, I will say this. Although both have a social aspect to it, I would say weed... I enjoy doing things with weed, but I would say I enjoy company better with alcohol. So more it's, the cliche, it's a social lubricant or whatever.
Yeah.
And it is, because it does whatever to your frontal lobe or whatever, and it relaxes you. You stop. You're less anxious on alcohol.
Hey,
it slows you down.
Nicotine's a nootropic, so our minds should be flowing. So.
I actually just ate some of that neuro gum.
Oh, yeah, you.
I love it, dude. Okay. I have neuro.
Starting to feel something from it now.
I use it at the gym. I use it like a pre-workout now. So I'll have
interesting.
I'll have a coffee, some neuro gum before the gym, and I feel fucking great.
So what does it do? You don't turn into Kramer, do you?
No, hyper focused. I'm not a race. I don't turn into a racist, dude.
No, I just meant you'll crowd a door frame and just come in all of a sudden. No. Yeah. I had it that one day. So I had it that one day, but it wasn't it was something that was I didn't notice a big difference. But I'm a pretty even keel guy. I don't get overly excited or anything like that.
Right. It doesn't I don't feel like a energy jolt like a pre-workout or an energy drink, but what I do know, here's an ashtray, you dummy. What are you doing over there? You're making a mess. What was I just thinking? Oh yeah. But I do feel a level of focus. I'll notice I'm much more in tune with what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot more mental focus, mental, mind body connection. I notice that it's a difference when I'm chewing that neurogum. So
you recommend working out with neurogum?
I do, and I'm finding out that I like chewing something. having that like little mouth fixation
Okay.
while I'm going. I think it. I don't know. I don't know if I'm just getting into. I like it now. I just enjoy it.
Yeah. So I would. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I did have it. I didn't notice like a huge change, like I said, but I'm pretty even keel. I was wondering if you just start chewing neurogum and then all of a sudden get into like Sudoku or something.
I could see chewing some of that gum and all of a sudden cleaning up the house, and before you know, you've been cleaning for an hour. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You
trailed off there. You're like,
yeah, no,
whatever you just said.
No, I don't know. Did you? What else do you have? What do you have there?
What else do I got here? Did I bring up? I don't know if I brought this. I don't know if I deleted this off the thing or not. But did I bring up how third world countries have no food and we have a abundance of food problem? Did I bring that up yet?
No.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Isn't it crazy to think that at the same time, right, 2022, and here in the United States, we have nothing but mostly fat people, right? Like,
Right.
It's out of shape, fat, fucking whatever. And at the exact same time, there's countries, 10 hours away on a flight that have the exact opposite, where they have no food, barely any cleaning water at the same exact time.
Yeah, it's pretty sad, man. The fact that if I had a business, right, and I sold apples, and I didn't sell my apple, right, at what point do I decide, hey, I'm not going to sell those apples, so let me give it to somebody that's hungry?
Right.
No, because I'll throw it out. That's what happens in America. We just throw shit out.
Isn't it like 40? I think there's some astronomical number that we throw like 30 or 40% away of our produce, or I mean, all of our food.
Is it that? That's 40%.
It's some kind of crazy number like that.
No wonder third world countries hate us, bro. They
Right.
call us the white devils.
But what's crazy is we have laws about like donating expired food and stuff. Like you can't. That's why, like, when grocery stores throw away expired food, I think they have to, like, destroy it. Because if a bum eats it and gets sick, he can actually sue. Which is, like,
What?
Yeah, I think there's some crazy shit like that. I mean, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know the exact shit. But
You're not a lawyer? The fuck?
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so weddings and we throw out garbage. A lot of these weddings are like super extra. What kind of wedding would you have if you were to get married?
Destination.
Okay.
Destination. Because then.
And where would you go? Don't tell me Greece.
Nah. I don't know. I guess the first thought would be like somewhere really where everyone could be on board for like a badass time. Would be like something like, although I've never been, is Hawaii.
All right, hold on.
I've heard nothing but good things.
All right, so what are you looking to spend for a wedding? And what? All right, so what type of traits does this? Hold on, let's dig into this for real.
Let's do it.
So,
I don't want to spend any money on a wedding. That's what I'm trying to say.
what?
That's why.
How do you have a wedding?
Yeah. All right. So, okay. I just this last Wednesday,
Okay.
my girlfriend's cousin Sarah. Shout out Sarah. She doesn't watch this. She never
Sarah,
will.
shout out. I don't know Sarah, but shout out Sarah.
Her and her partner, lesbian partner, just got
Congrats.
married.
Oh, all
And
right.
the way they did it was we were supposed to. It stormed. If you don't remember it, we had a crazy little storm that happened Wednesday.
I do remember
So it
actually.
was supposed to be outside at this thing. They booked some person. It was going to be like literally like 8 people. It was going to be a really small little thing, and then we're
Yep.
doing dinner after. And I think that's the smarter way to go. It's like I think if you want people to be a part of it, just kind of like figure out a way to throw a nice ass party. That probably can be done with $4,000 or $5,000. You know what I'm saying? Like a real reasonable celebration. It like the wedding itself and all the little things. That's not where to spend the money. Just spend the money on like just a good time. I don't know. So how I would do it, I would probably do first if a destination. So it could be small, and then you'd only want the people you really want there anyways.
Okay.
So then it could be more than just my wedding. It could be a vacation for people, right? That's what you'd want. You want it more,
Yeah.
But then if I was going to do something, if I was going to get married here, I think I would do like, I mean, I'm not above a fucking courthouse wedding. Because let's think about it. It's just legal documents, right?
Right.
And I'd rather do that in a courthouse and then just find a nice banquet hall and throw a little party. And that's probably for, I don't know. I don't know what the X amount of money I would spend on it, but I wouldn't spend more than I had or more than I could. That's for fucking sure, you know?
So, but how many people then?
I don't know, man.
And how many people do you actually know?
Right. Or you actually care about. It's like more than, you know, you've seen people your whole life. And I don't want to say care because care is maybe not the right word. But
right.
Like,
I don't think it is either.
It's more, it's like who you actually would want around, who you talk to. Okay. How many people do you actually talk to on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month basis? It's like my cousin over fucking I haven't seen in 2 years. It's like, you don't have to invite everybody, you know? I think 40 people is more than enough. I've been to a couple backyard receptions, and I'm not above that. Just good food and a good time is just make the best of what the shit you have.
On a weekly basis, I talk to about 8 people. So if I add another 8 people, probably 16 people, 32 people probably at the wedding. If I were to have a wedding, right? Mm-hmm. Assuming I find somebody special enough for a wedding, right? In this day and age.
Let's hope your girl doesn't listen to this.
She listens.
Okay. Shout out. Oh, what's up? What's her name again? I forgot. I feel like a dick.
Yeah, I forget too.
Have you ever talked to somebody on like back in your single days? You're talking to somebody all night and you don't even know they told you their name, but you don't remember it.
Oh my God, that happens all the time. Can you imagine if it happens at your wedding?
What's your move to get them to say their name again?
Oh, I find somebody else and I'm like, hey, can you ask them their name? Because for me, I go to bro, buddy, dude, hey, girl, hey, ma'am, excuse me.
I do that with I what's up, bud? That's my what's up, bud? But that's the dudes. But to a chick, what I've done is I'll be like, all right, give me your number. Put your name in my phone, and I hand them the whole thing, so they have to put, you know, whatever, Christine, whatever the fucking name is.
All right, let's play this scenario out. How did you meet your girl? And did you? All right. So apart from like, let's say, take the internet part out of it, right? Mm-hmm. What was the first thing you said to her?
To my girlfriend now?
Yeah. Was that like a pickup line? Do you have a pickup line?
No. No. I met her through a third party, so it wasn't like I was. I didn't set out to meet somebody or hit on her. So there was no games played. It was just like a buddy. It's like, hey, this chick's gonna come out, and I just met her, and then we just
hit it off,
and I let her eat off my plate, which was a big bonus.
Glad you said plate.
What did you say?
I was just glad you said plate.
What was I gonna say? Eat off my what? Dick?
I'm just saying. I'm glad you said plate.
We weren't eating shrimp that day.
I'm just glad you said plate. Yeah.
But she just came by and had a couple cocktails. Actually, what hooked her was that we started talking about books.
Okay.
So once we got into like the whole like Audible, because she had recently got into it.
Boring.
Well, not really.
Okay,
I think girls look for a little bit of intellect in a dude. I think most guys get the fucking dumb. It's like the dumb thing. You have to. You're seen as dumb until proven you're not. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like
yeah. But their dynamic is what they're looking at is. From experience, I think with a female, when she looks at you, she's looking to discount you. She's looking for all the reasons not to talk to you.
Right.
We're just looking for a reason to talk.
Right. Just
get the
ball rolling.
Right. So she's like, this dude, I don't like the way his hair is parted to the left or to the right, whatever it is. They're just constantly looking for things to discount you. If they can't discount you, then I think that's
but I think when you start like talking to chicks about books, it makes you look a different type of way, because not a lot of dudes talk about books. Right.
So what do you do? Is like you like walked up to her and you were like, "Hey, how about that Twilight?"
No, I think it was like
Shakespeare?
No.
Fucking liar.
I think we got honestly. I think it was books about neuroscience, like about the. Honestly,
seriously, who? What the fuck,
dude? Dr. Joe Dispenza.
Oh,
if you don't know who Dr. Joe Dispenza,
I have no idea.
You need to learn up on that.
I have no idea who that is.
He talks about. Excuse me, I'm burping over here.
Yeah, big time.
He was actually a chiropractor who his story is that he was riding a bike and he got hit by a car, but crazy accident. Okay. Was pretty much told that he's never going to walk again. So
I've heard this before.
He started trying to figure out how to wire his brain to work again, or to get his legs to work. So he kept just really visioning his legs working and kept putting in his mind's eye, I'm gonna get healthy and do all that. And he's walking.
Wow.
So he started doing he started learning on neuroscience. So about the brain, about pathways, about all that shit. So he wrote a few books called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. And he talks about how, we have patterns of thinking. And if you could change your patterns of thinking, you could change your physical,
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, he has.
I can see that.
He has like 3 or 4 books, and listen to all of them, which are really cool. So when you first discover it, you're like, "Oh fuck, that's like it's a whole new thing. You never heard that. You never taught shit like that in school."
So you were like, "Hey, girl,
I think I started talking about it, and that intrigued her. So she's like, "Oh, let me. What are those books?" And I gave her the author and the titles, and then she got into it. And
so you guys basically started a book club between like 2 people.
No, but I think that was like what gave me some brownie points, I guess, in her eyes. And then
so guys, take notes. Start a book club.
Right. Well, just start fucking learn. Yeah.
Yeah, learn, motherfuckers. Nobody wants a dumb fuck.
That is so true. Like, just start listening to books because there's so much good shit you could learn.
Yeah. And
we talked about it before. It makes you a better conversationalist. You actually have new things to say, right? You can start talking to things. And I was on a date with a chick one time a while ago, and we were talking about books. And I think I forgot how it came up, but we started talking about like self-development. I'm like, I started listening to books. Okay. And then I'm like, recently I've been getting into neuroscience books. And then I seen her face change, and I started talking about, she goes, "Oh, my brother's a neuroscientist." So just that little extra just made me look that much better. It's all because of Audible. It's all because I just started listening to books.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. So you basically neuroscience your way into her pants.
It was a one date thing.
All right. Well, here he is being modest again.
It was a one date.
This fucking guy.
Listen, it was a one.
Listen, hey, he fucked the shit out of her. Don't get it fucking twisted. He fucked the shit out of her.
Literally, she shit herself in the bed.
Well, I didn't mean it like that.
No, but I lived at home with moms, and that was a bad look.
Oh God, yes.
So,
terrible. Hey, I live at home with moms.
Well, she lives at home with you.
Well, yeah, but she's on the first floor, and I'm in the basement. The good thing, what saves me, is I don't play video games. How about that?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Although I recently played virtual reality at my nephew's house. My sister bought the Oculus for my 3 nephews.
Yeah.
What a fucking trip. Have you tried this yet?
I recently was in Appleton, Wisconsin. I went to go hang out with my cousin, and as I was hanging out with him out there, something's going on over here. This is pissing me off.
Did you die?
I don't know what happened.
We're trying new shit here, folks. We're trying to get new camera angles. We're
going
with the GoPro.
We can keep
going.
I can't see this shit.
One day we're gonna have this shit fucking dialed in. The shit's gonna look professional.
Yeah, exactly. And either way. Well, back to the Oculus though.
Oh yeah.
So my cousin, he was like, "Yeah, you need to try this Oculus thing," and I avoided it at all costs because I am one of those people that I need to be able, like, I can't have people watching me when I'm trying to figure something out.
Oh, because you feel like you're being judged learning?
more, it might be more like this is where when I think I learned that I might have a control problem. And so like, one of the reasons why I'm constantly learning new things is because I never want to feel like the odd man out.
Right. Which is good. That's a good trait, by the way.
Yeah, I think so too. But so he's like super good at video. He's been playing video games since I met him, and I met him when I was like fucking 10, right? And so he's probably really good at it, and he's like 40 years old, which Jonathan, shout out to my cousin Jonathan. It's time to give those motherfuckers up, man. Seriously.
You know, it's one thing. How many hours do you think he does it?
No, I don't think he does hours. I think he used to do hours.
There's nothing. Listen, we all like one of my best friends. Shout out Pat. You know, he never listen. He'll never watch this, but he's one of those guys. He loves video games. But the way he broke it down was like, I watch TV and movies, and he plays video games. So it's like the same chunk of time of wasting. It's like waste. Yeah. It's like you're not doing really anything productive. He'd rather make his own entertainment than be entertained. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's that new generation that kind of never comes out and doesn't really date and is kind of way too quiet and way too introverted. And
well, there's definitely going to be that. I mean, I definitely think kids who are probably 25 and younger have a lot of social inadequacies.
I mean, and for them, do you think they're ever going to get married? Do you think they're ever going to find somebody?
Well, the trend, the more educated I think you are, the less likely you are to have kids.
As far as for females?
I think it goes both ways.
No, it's females. It's female based. So the more educated they become, the less likely they want to have kids.
I mean, because I think, do you think it's because of they wanted their own personal career to flourish, or do you think it's because you really learn that this world's kind of fucked up, and it's like, I don't want to raise somebody in this fucked up world when it's so much uncertainty going on? What do you think?
I think there's many things, right? But the one thing that if I were to point something out, I think what it has to do is that, you know, there's a consensus that point out when a woman looks her best, right? And it's a general consensus, but it is general, right? But it's a majority of people. So if you ask 100 men, most of them are going to say it's between 18 and 20, 20, maybe 23.
Sure.
That's when they look their best. But society sells them this bill of goods that tells them, hey, go to school, get an education so you're able to be self-sufficient, be a boss bitch, you know, so they're essentially wasting their best years dedicating themselves to like education. And so when they're at their highest level or peak of beauty, they're way too busy with school or dating around. And then they end up wasting that time in college and not using it to get their like that's when they're at their peak. Mm-hmm. So if they waste it, not that they're wasting it, right? Those are the wrong words to use. And please don't listen, ladies, don't hate me. This is just an opinion and it's my opinion, but I'm just saying that if you're at your peak beauty, but you're spending it trying to get an education, well, while you're getting an education, so is that guy, but that guy is also dating. So most women chase like that top level guy. That top level guy, he's out at all times looking for somebody. So this good looking, well built, highly educated, successful guy, he's also looking for a woman. But while you're getting your education and wasting your time, and there's not a lot of those guys, they find a girl right away. You get stuck because when you get out of school, you're what, 25, 26? Then you get a job.
I think, well, if you get an 18, you do 4 years, you're 22.
Okay. Well,
but
depends what you study, right?
So what are you saying? So you think if a woman's plan is to get married or get scooped up, to not go to college? She should be out there flaunting to get scooped up.
Well, oh man, I swear you fucking put
I'm
me in these goddamn corners. But I'll go for it because I don't give a fuck. All right, here's the deal. Again,
So
if we go back to the Bible, there's, for me personally, there's two types of people on the planet. There's the people that want to procreate, and there's the people that don't want to procreate, right? And in saying that, there are the people who believe that there should be more people on the planet, and there are people that want to control population and make less or have less people on the planet. Okay. And if you look at it at a certain way, it might be that there is something going on out there where women are having less kids. The weddings, you went to a wedding. It was a lesbian wedding. They're not having kids. They might adopt, right?
Right.
Or maybe they are having kids, but it's going to be through in vitro, right?
Nah, I don't think they're ever gonna have kids.
Okay, well, see,
They have dogs.
now if we're a society, right? So the Bible tells us to be fruitful and multiply. If you're not doing that, you're going against what the Bible says. And you might say, hey, you're reading the Bible in a very sexist way.
I forgot how much of a Bible thumper you are.
I'm not a Bible thumper.
You're a fucking thumper.
Look, listen. Okay, hold on. Right now you were advocating earlier. I'm sorry. Earlier you were advocating for Audible. Now Audible is books.
Sure.
Now that means that you believe that there is knowledge in books.
I see where you're going.
Right? And so if you believe that there's knowledge in books, right, you would also believe that there are people who have written down these oral stories that have been passed down from generation to generation to a point where we have a book that is over 2,000 years old with stories in it that might be 30,000 years old. And I'm not going to go to that book and be like, hey, man, let's go to these first books that have many stories, many teachings.
But is it fiction or nonfiction?
It's all of the above. It's a little bit of everything. You ever play telephone?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I tell you something and you tell somebody else.
I actually never played it, but I know.
Okay, I've never played it. I might have played it in school. But if you play telephone, right, you're going to tell somebody something, and eventually that story is going to kind of change. And it might be, there's a lot of stories that correlate with each other. Like Jesus may have been, like the story of Jesus has been told many times, right? And I'm not going to get super deep with that. But all I'm saying is it's possible that if there's knowledge in books,
okay,
for me, I think I'm going to go to the oldest book and see what people that lived generations before me, because they were around at a time when things were, I think history repeats itself, which has been, right? And so there's a history in there that is very ancient that I think that we could learn from.
If that's the case, why don't you read the Quran? That's thousands of years older than that.
But it's not.
I think it is.
No, I don't think it is. I think the Quran. So here's a misconception. The Quran was written after the life of Christ. Maybe 500 years after when Christ was here.
Okay.
They believe that Christ was a prophet. Christians believe that Jesus is the Messiah. What's interesting about the Quran is that there was a man by the name of Abraham in the Bible.
Okay.
And Abraham had a wife named Sarah.
I just tuned in. We just lost about 40 viewers, but go ahead.
No, this is really important. This is really important. It's possible that Jesus, they say Jesus was a Jew, right? And he taught in synagogues, right? But it's possible that Jesus also read the writings of the Muslims too, like teachings from the Muslims of that time, because he spoke Aramaic, right? But anyways,
allegedly.
Well, I mean, I wasn't there.
All right.
Do you
think it's possible if you did your own, like, you wrote down all these commandments, you did your own book, and you buried it in a time capsule, and then you hope that like a couple thousand years later somebody would find it, that you could start something.
Yeah. Yeah, because people will follow anything.
Right.
Look at these motherfucking blue hair people.
I have a theory about that. Have I talked to you about this yet?
Yeah, no, but do you think they're Smurfs? But let me finish my Abraham story.
Okay, go ahead.
So now you asked about the Quran. Check this out. So Abraham in the Bible was a man of God. An angel came down and told him that his wife was going to get pregnant. Now, the tricky thing is that Abraham's wife was old as fuck. So was Abraham.
And a slut because she doesn't know where it came from.
No. She was not a slut. No, you're conflating stories. No. So Sarah was in her, I think, 80s or 90s. And she was like, listen, man, I'm barren, man. It's dried up down there. Why don't you have a child with this lady, which was one of their servants? So Abraham said, you're right. God promised me a child. We don't have that child yet. I'll just put a child in this lady.
How come I'm the only one smoking a cigar, by the way?
Because I am loopy right now.
You took too many puffs. You probably inhaled an accident.
Yeah. So anyways, so Abraham puts a baby in, I believe her name was Herod.
Okay.
So he puts a baby in Herod. All right. I don't remember exactly the name, but I think that's what it was. So he puts a baby in her, and that baby is born. His name is Ishmael. So what happens is she gets pregnant. Another thing happens that's very interesting. That 80 or 90-year-old woman also gets pregnant with the baby.
I'm calling bullshit on that story.
Now, he names this baby Israel.
Is real.
Israel. He names it Israel. I'm just saying, this is a story. It might be allegory. I don't know. I wasn't there.
It came from an 80-year-old, so it is real.
There it is. It's possible. It's possible. So what happens is,
I don't think it's real, by the way. Go ahead.
Well, it is. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. But I'm just giving you the story of how the Muslims were born, the people of the Muslims. So what happened was Sarah got jealous and said, now that I have my child, you got to get that child out of here because your firstborn is going to inherit the land. They're going to be the people of God. So you got to get rid of her. And even though Abraham loved her and loved that child, he took them and dropped them off under a tree and walked away from them. Though that kid went on to establish the Muslim people. And Israel, his name was Ishmael. Israel went on to establish the Jews. That's how the Muslims and the Jews were born. It is said.
So while you were talking, I was thinking about.
I thought you were gonna say you died.
So you talk about land, right?
Yeah.
So who was the first person to dish out land? Like, how do you know that this 10 feet is mine and then that 10 feet is yours? You know what I'm saying? Like,
who it was, we don't have that information. Right. But I think
it had to be a singular idea because there's no natural lines on the land, right?
Yeah.
So somebody at some point had to say, this is my portion. And then they had to draw out their portion.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a really interesting thought is like, who and when was the first time we're going to make division of land?
Right.
Because you would assume that like in caveman days, they weren't tutorial. Maybe they were tutorials of like
territorial.
What I say? Yeah, whatever. You know the word. Territorial over their crops, and maybe they had a beach that they had fresh water or whatever, or like a lake they were stationed at that they were trying to protect. But like, it's kind of crazy to think about that. Like, okay, we're gonna make these imaginary borders, and you gotta,
right. Yeah, I mean, just imagine if you're a hunter-gatherer, right? And you have this beautiful swath of land.
Right.
You've got a river running through it. You're able to water some crops. Beautiful papayas grow there. And then you have these other fucks that are constantly traveling, trying to find food, and all of a sudden they come onto your land. They're like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I want what they have. So eventually they're going to be like, wait a minute, how can we get them? You know, and they start worrying over, hey man, get out of here. This is our area. We don't have enough food for your tribe too. We were here first. Oh yeah, well we want it.
And you know, along that same line, like, all right, you guys could be over there, but don't cross this line.
Yeah, you draw a line.
Yeah,
right where the papayas end.
Yeah,
stay on that side, you motherfucker.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I mean, I imagine, I don't know if that's exactly what happened, right? But I can sort of like by association or just put some shit together here. But yeah, it is interesting. I mean, because right, everything's divided for us. Right? Mm-hmm. You have your bag of tools. I got mine. Don't go in my bag of tools. That draws the line, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like you got a fence there. You got a fence on this side.
All right, we're gonna switch subjects here.
Okay.
I got a new thing that it kind of goes back onto the neuroscience that Joe Dispenza. I'm gonna tickle
okay,
that,
neuroscience. All right.
Yeah, tickle
I don't
that
know shit
back.
about it.
So I was thinking the other day. I was thinking about some people, like, there's a lot of people have vision boards. And they think about visualizing their future, and if you could see it, you could do it. You know, that whole movement. Right. But what about third world countries? Do you think they can visualize a fucking good life and it happens to them? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I would love to think that, okay, if you could see it, you put it in your mind's eye, and if you can make your brain believe that it might happen, but like, there's people that walk 15 miles for just clean water.
Right.
What are they visualizing? And how come it would work for us, but it can't work for them?
Yeah, well, see, this is interesting because I think that first, like, you can have a vision board, right? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But you got to be realistic to what you can get. Like, your vision board, like,
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like, in America, we have prosperity, mm-hmm. and we have access to many outlets of creativity, mm-hmm. right? So you like, let's say you live in some village in Africa where people don't ever get out.
Right.
Right. Your vision board
is like a fucking cow that I'm going to kill.
Yeah, it's just something small. Like,
right.
Like, I need mangoes.
Right.
You know, I need to come across a mango tree.
Do you think they could put a vision board of Mercedes-Benz and mansions on their fucking...
Yes, but I think the vision board needs to come in stages. First stage is, right, make enough money to get the fuck out of there.
Clean water. First stage.
First things first, clean water.
Plumbing.
Yeah, but shoes, right, to walk the fuck out of there.
Second, housing. Third, education. It's like there's so many steps that are behind.
Yeah, but your vision board should match that. Right?
I guess they don't know what they don't know, right? Like, they don't know that we have... I'm sure they're aware of all of our abundance, but they probably don't really know until you're here.
Do they, though? I don't think they do.
I don't know.
Because, I mean, how would you know what abundance is if you've never witnessed it? You know?
Yeah. That's all. I don't know.
I mean, I guess...
I wanted to poke... All I'm trying to say is I want to poke a little hole in that theory of visualizing success, and like the book The Secret. You ever watch that? You watch that documentary on
some girl,
it's a book.
Girl that I met tried to tell me about The Secret. I told her, listen, if it's a fucking secret, why do you know about it?
Right.
There's no secret.
It's that whole idea of like visioning it in your brain. What does it look like? What does it smell like? What does it taste like? That you're almost predicting the future kind of thing. And
right.
I'm on the team where I want that to be real. Like, if you really focus on it and you really do it, you can achieve it.
But you can.
But then I think about a third world country of people who barely have running drinking water. How are they going to envision $1 million mansion?
All right. It has happened.
Okay.
There is a guy in the UFC. His name is Francis Ngannou.
What a fucking story.
Stud.
Crazy. If you guys don't know who that is, give it a little bit of a goog.
Google it.
He was on Rogan. I highly suggest listening to that podcast. That dude has a crazy story. Tried to come here like 6 times. He was caught. I forgot the number, but he tried to come here.
First of all, he's from Africa and
yep.
was living the life of sort of a slave, right? He was digging.
Yeah, yep.
He was digging holes to find minerals or whatever the fuck.
Blood diamond, basically blood diamond.
Yeah, if you ever seen Blood Diamond, yeah, it's basically that. And he would get out, and they would catch him and bring him back. Now his vision board.
But hold on.
All right.
When they caught you, they left you in the middle of the desert, and they expected you to die.
All right, let's go back. First of all, this guy is like he's a giant. He's like 7 feet tall.
No, he's probably really like 6'4", 6'5", right?
Okay, 6'4", 6'5". That's still a giant in my book.
And he's a heavyweight, so he's 250.
I heard that guy walks around when he's not training at 300 pounds.
I believe it. He's eating like a motherfucker.
Solid muscle, right? Solid muscle. He is the Black Adonis. He is Black Superman.
So basically, he looks like me with my shirt off. But
Hold
black.
up.
You were describing me. Well, once you said Adonis, you were entering in mine.
Yeah, that's your domain. I'm sorry. All right.
Psych.
Yeah. He's like Dino on a stepladder.
He's like me plus 5 pounds.
Come on. I think if that guy punched any one of us,
oh my God,
we would definitely meet our ancestors.
Like, I'm not being racist, but he would not, like, he's got a gorilla strength, okay? And he would most likely knock me. He probably could kill somebody, especially somebody my size, kill him in one punch if he got to wind up and cold cock somebody. Might be able to kill him.
Yeah. If he wanted to have sex with either one of us, it wouldn't be a fight. He would just get it. And I would fight with all my might, and it wouldn't be a fight.
I wouldn't even fight. I would just have to accept it. Somebody like that could just bear hug. Dude, you have no chance.
No.
You would have no chance against
Can you imagine if he just bear hugged you till you couldn't breathe anymore? That could happen.
Hold on. That has happened to me. Almost.
You got bear hugged and raped?
No.
Tell me about it.
Well, besides the raping part, but I had where I was in high school, and we were at this house party, and we're at this older dude's house. Probably now that I think about it, he was too old for us. If we were in high school, he was probably in his mid to late 20s.
Okay.
And we're at this dude's house partying, and I think he talked about how he might have practiced like Taekwondo or something. Like he practiced maybe some kind of martial art.
Okay.
And my one buddy Vince, shout out Vince.
Vince.
He never gonna watch this, but
maybe
he wanted to fight this guy. And this guy's like, I will take both you on, and I was at both you.
What?
Okay. And
a guy with that much confidence, I'd be like, you know what, dude, you win.
Right, hold on. Of course, I'm like drunk, and I'm like 16 or 17. I'm like, dude, I don't want no fucking beef, you know? And this guy's like, I'll bet. I think he was trying to say $1,000 that he'll fight both of me and my guy versus him. And my buddy's, he's hammered, and he's kind of a rougher dude anyway, so he was all game for it. And so I think we like brushed it off or whatever, and then dude got me like, we were just kind of like fucking around, and then he like got me in a fucking chokehold. I mean, it wasn't a bear hug. I'm sorry, it was a chokehold. He got me in like a chokehold, and this motherfucker really squeezed, and really got my fucking he held it for 5 seconds that felt like 2 minutes. And it cut me off to the point where panic set in, but it went away because I was gonna get choked out, and he let me go, and I'm like, holy fuck, Nick. I don't know. I haven't thought about that in a really long time. So I guess bear hug wasn't the right thing, but that made me think about that, like losing all your oxygen. Basically,
sure.
You know, it's like it's the same idea.
Literally, you were dying.
Literally,
he was killing you.
Lost. Yes.
Yeah.
and I would have fucking laid flat for sure.
Yeah. And then you would get raped. Right now you'd be raising a child here.
Man, can you imagine getting raped by
No.
a fucking
No.
dude?
No.
Holy
Dino,
fuck.
no.
Are you clinching up or are you just accepting it?
You know what?
You gotta clinch, right? You gotta fight it. You gotta fight all you can.
You know what? Fuck, man. What?
But can't
like
you,
you're pretty strong. You could probably clinch and rip this dick off.
But what are your hands doing? Like, can't you like?
Well,
You know?
so if all right, I'm not saying that I would, but if I was gonna do that, you would be unconscious.
Oh, you mean like? Oh, okay.
I would beat the fuck out of you first.
Oh, if you're gonna rape somebody, you would make sure they were.
Well, I would never do it, male or female. But I'm saying, I imagine that you would have to pass them out.
Have you ever thought? Is it a kink to you? Because there's like a little genre of porn where the girl's sleeping. So have you ever thought about that? Like, is there any kind of turn on for you of fucking a female? Like, I don't want to say she's passed out because that sounds fucking terrible. But there's like a sleeping thing, like where basically she doesn't know you're doing it.
Yeah.
Is that a thing for you?
No.
I remember it being a little bit of a thing for me. Like, I would never like take advantage of somebody, right? That's obviously terrible. But there's like a kink where it's like your girlfriend's sleeping and you fuck her and she kind of like doesn't really. Obviously, she knows. I mean, that whole genre is a little bit fake because how do you not know a dick's going inside you? But
now you would know.
You would definitely know.
As a female, I'm sure you're hyper aware.
I do. Okay, I will say this. When I was in high school, I dated this girl my freshman year, and then I think my senior year, I threw a party where she came over, and she was like, "Oh, I'm sleeping over." I'm like, oh, "Okay, cool." So we go so after the end of the night, we go in my bed, and then I'm not really like making any moves on her because I don't really know if that's like the move to do. Which, in hindsight, a girl sleeping over in your bed, it's like. There's no wrong move. If she says no, she says no. You can't get faulted for fucking trying. Right. You know, she literally said, "I'm sleeping at your house. I'll have my dad pick me up in the morning."
Right.
So I remember this is kind of embarrassing, but whatever. So I remember I'm like whatever. I gotta shoot my shot a little bit. I gotta do something. So I remember like kind of cuddling up next to her. She didn't really do anything, didn't like embrace it or fight me off. And then I remember I kind of started like rubbing, like I don't know, I think I started like rubbing the thigh a little bit. Oh, and she had a big old fucking booty. Courtney, big old booty you had back in the day. And I remember starting to feel on it, and she didn't say no, but there was like almost like a sexiness to like it being forbidden. You got to pull the string a little more so it doesn't burn the whole thing. There was almost like a sexiness to like, I don't want to say like, I don't know, almost like like I said, like a forbidden thing or whatever. And nothing happened. We didn't make out. I think I did it for a little bit, and I think I felt stupid, and I stopped. And then I think the next day she brought it up like, "Oh, you were feeling on my ass last night," and I was like, I thought you were like passed out, so I stopped. You know, like you didn't say yes or no, or didn't do anything else, you know, didn't moan, didn't give me any indication that like it's game, you know. But yeah, I know it's a thing. There's like a weird, I think there's a weird kink of people like.
I think it's very sexy that your girl is sleeping next to you and you're touching her.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, she would have to wake up and like.
Oh, that's happened. I mean,
like I don't want to make fucking whoopee to a fucking dead person.
I've had experiences where I'm hooking up with somebody and we both like passed out. Nothing happened. Like we're both so drunk, fucking around, and then we just kind of like pass out. And then we both wake up like an hour or two later, like kind of like, what the fuck? And then we just go back at it.
Oh.
And then just get right back into it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, repeatedly till I'm sore.
Right? Dude, back in the day, man, you used to be able to fuck, come, and then be ready like 10 minutes later. Yeah. That is not the case anymore. It's got to be the age. But it's like as soon as I try to like when I'm fucking.
You think it's the age or the lifestyle?
No. It's age, dude. It's definitely age. I think it's a testosterone level thing, because like there's been times where like you're fucking a chick and you kind of come fast. Yeah. And you're like whatever. You're like that was like the first one was like let me get this one out of the way.
Oh yeah.
And then
you're a stallion for like 45 minutes.
But you need, there's a little bit of a time break. You need to go down. You need to like calm down. But like when you hit her with that second one, it's kind of funny because I hope girls know. So this is a new thing that I kind of learned. It makes a lot of fucking sense. Why guys come? Why do you think guys come fast to begin with?
Obviously it's to. It's got to be to like it's got to be either to get away quickly or to get your seat in as many women as possible.
You nailed it.
Yeah.
It is that. I think because back in the day, like having, all right, so obviously we're all wired to procreate, right? Yeah. But when you're fucking, you're very vulnerable. If you think about it, you're not ready to defend yourself. You're not ready to fucking whatever. So I think
as a male,
both. So I think like most animals, like a lot of animals fuck really fast. They don't have an hour sex session. They have like seconds. They fuck in like seconds.
Right. Because
I think a lot of animals, including us, you only had seconds of vulnerability before like you might get eaten by a cat.
Would you say humans are animals?
Well, 100%.
Okay.
So I think that we all come fast. It's a program because like you said, like we're trying to get the nut in these girls as quick as possible because we have to quickly start defending ourselves.
Right.
And then I heard another theory, which I used to believe, but I think the evolutionary one's better. But I think I heard another story that when we were younger and discovering that we can jerk off, usually at home, parents are home. So you try to do it as fast as possible to not get caught. So you're almost training yourself to nut quick. So I used to kind of think that because obviously when I was younger, I didn't like try to prolong it, try to practice going longer, You're trying to do it as fast as possible. So if you think about it, your dick and balls, all they know is to come fast.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, God forbid, when you really feel some really warm wet, you're fucking coming super quick,
Yeah.
But I do like the idea of the evolution. I think that's real because I think, like, if you're fucking in the jungle, you're fucking whatever, back in the cave, you had to worry about bears and tigers and shit and lions that were legit eating people. So that used to, So I kind of think that's what it is.
Yeah, I think that we developed as... it developed as you needed a partner to be able to protect you afterwards too. This is why the man comes quicker than the female, she's going to be compromised for 9 months. So she needs that male to stick around to be able to protect her for that long, not even after the 9 months, right? Because then the child's born and she has to take care of him. There's that dynamic existed in our society as humans for millennia.
Right.
But nowadays women don't need our protection anymore, right? Because we built a society that is so safe that they can be pregnant all on their own through a fertility clinic and they don't need the protection of a man. But back then, when we were hunter-gatherers, we would get her pregnant and then be there to protect her from bears, from other males, right? Because they would also kill our children and whatnot, And so they needed the protection of the male because she can't, while she's pregnant, she's compromised.
Right.
She's unable to get food, right? Because there's moments where they might not feel as good, but that male can go out and hunt.
I think that's why females inherently like strong, big men. Because there's going to be a point in time where they're vulnerable and they need somebody to protect them and feed them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it's interesting that now the dynamic has changed so much that females don't really need men anymore.
All right. All right. New thing that I wrote down that I seen this. Okay, the last week it's been like hot as fuck. right?
Super, yeah.
It's been so hot in Chicago lately. It's been 90s, late 80s, 90s, all the last like 2 months, maybe 3 months.
For sure.
What about these fucking people that are so cool they have to wear hoodies? They're still wearing hoodies. Dude, I've seen people wearing hoodies and jeans in 90+ degree weather.
Yeah.
And the first thing I think of is like, you gotta be so cool. You just have to be so cool looking that you have to wear a hoodie.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
So you saw somebody in a hoodie in 90 degree
Few
weather.
bunch of people. And I'm like, how? I'm sweating in my air-conditioned car right now.
Yeah.
You're walking on the streets of Chicago in a fucking hoodie.
Yeah, that's insane.
Right? Like, what the fuck is that? I've seen people with jackets on and beanies. It's 90 degrees.
Hey, when I was I guess when I was with my kid's mom, she would be cold in 80 degree weather in the shade. And I was like, you know, it made me think about like, it's obvious that we're not the same, right?
Is it a body fat thing?
I don't know if it's a body fat thing because she had a fat ass. Or there's plenty of fat there.
Amen.
Yeah. Lord, thank you for fat asses. Also, yeah, she would be cold, and for me that made me think about like, you know, I like asparagus. Some people don't like vegetables, right? And so it's obvious that we vary so much between person to person that it's possible that if I'm hot, they're going to be cold. But is it possible that if your body temperature is at 98.6, or not everybody is exactly that, but that's like what we should be at, right? But there are people whose body temperature might be a little lower due to like certain illnesses. Like it's possible that, I don't know, maybe they were born with less sweat glands, you know, and maybe they don't sweat as much, or maybe like that one thing that tells you like, you know, we have alarm systems that go off where, oh, your body's so hot, you got to cool off somehow. Maybe they don't have those sensors, that alarm system that actually gets them to the point where they're like, hey, you really need to cool off right now. I don't know.
I think those motherfuckers are sweating, and they're just like, it's fashion over function. Just like the opposite happens in the winter where people are wearing like,
oh yeah,
just like a long sleeve. But like, bro,
I went through that. Phase.
I do that. I mean, I guess I do that.
Where
with
I didn't
like
want to wear a jacket.
You don't zip it up. You rather have it open because you got layers.
What is that?
I don't.
Is that eagle? Is that your eagle?
I think you just want to look a type of way, and to actually be bundled up isn't the look you're going for. Like, I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
I guess you are just kind of too worried about what people are thinking.
Yeah, I just feel like we're wired so differently, right? Because there's people that nowadays there's people who they're born male and think they're female, right? There's gotta be a wire difference there, right? We're wired completely different. And I don't hate. I'm just saying, yeah, there's differences.
Yeah, I was just I forgot where I was. Can't remember, but we were by some people we knew had like 3 kids, and one was like a baby. Yeah. And they kept saying she. Oh, it's clearly a little girl, you know. She kept saying she. They kept saying she. Like, oh, she's gonna. And I was gonna interject and be like, "How do you know what?
Gender she is."
I was gonna say, how do you know what gender she is if she hasn't chosen it yet?
You inflammatory bastard.
I didn't say it because I didn't know if they would get the joke. Yeah. You know, like because they did.
Yeah, you know what I pulled at one of the meetings. So you know, at work sometimes when you're running a bigger job, they want you to introduce yourself at first,
like a foreman's meeting. Go ahead.
Yeah, sure. It was a foreman's meeting, and they were like, they asked me. The general asked me, he was like, so painter, where are you at? Where are you going to be? What do you need? Is there anything you need from us? And I said, hi, my name's Jose Morales. My pronouns are he and him. And then I went on, and people just kind of
they didn't get it.
No, they didn't get it. They just totally ignored it. But inside, I was like giddy. I was like, you stupid fucks. Yeah. I don't know.
Old white guys won't get that joke.
I mean, I'm pretty old.
No, you're not. You're only as old as you feel, dude.
I feel young,
right? I honestly still feel that the way I feel, like my goofiness is still high school level. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course I'm mature and I know how to like act right, but like I still feel goofy. I still want to say that's what she said. You know, like
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I still have that. I don't know.
Like, what is it? Fish sticks?
Yeah, exactly. Like
I think that's a guy thing. Like, you need to have that.
I think people when they hit 40s, 50s. They start doing the cliches of like, oh, I'm too old for this, or they'll announce it like I'm too old.
Yeah,
and I don't think you're old until the moment you admit you're old.
Yeah, I do it, and I do say it in like it's kind of like a pejorative, but I don't feel it. I'll fuck a motherfucker up.
I'm not in any rush, but I'm eager to know how I'm going to feel like in my 60s, because I firmly feel like I'm going to be one of those people who don't look my age, don't act my age, don't sound my age.
Yeah.
And because I think, health and fitness is very important when it comes to that. And
you look good, by the way.
I appreciate that. I'm down 10 pounds. I don't know if the fucking viewers can notice, but your boy is down 10 pounds.
He's asking for his abs back.
I was getting a sugar gut. There's no other way to say it but a sugar gut. I've been eating too much sweets, been indulging these fucking cocktails too much, and they all got just liquid sugar in it. Yeah. So
they're so good though.
They're so
sugar's
good.
So good.
They're so fucking good. Is that dying?
I just let's see what's happening here.
Uh-oh, folks. One day we're going to have this shit figured out, I promise. Burping over here.
Let's see what's happening here. I'm not sure.
We're at an hour 16. I mean, are you feeling you want to wrap it up?
Yeah, I mean, this is good. I know my cousin.
I will say this, hold on, not to cut you off.
Go ahead.
No, finish your thought. I'll...
Yeah, no, I was going to say my cousin who's a truck driver. Shout out, Jonathan. What's up, buddy?
Shout
out, Beth. Hey, Beth.
Do we love all of our little fans that we're getting? Everyone's giving us positive feedback. We feel very fortunate.
Yeah.
Appreciate the fuck out of that. Share this, like it, tell us, give us some, there's things that if you have any things like, hey, you got
topics.
Yeah, just
what do you want to hear? What do you want to know?
Give us a little feedback. We would appreciate that. But
yeah, for sure.
I do want to bring up this little story the other day. I was leaving my house about to go to the gym.
Okay.
Right. And I stop at the stop sign at the end of my block and I start going. This fucking kid, 9, 10, 11
kid
runs out in the front of my car like nothing.
How fast were you going?
Not fast, probably 15. I was able to stop, but I had to stop pretty quick.
Okay.
This motherfucker, like, if I would happen to be being not paying attention, I would have hit this motherfucker. So.
And he would deserve it.
100%. So he runs out. I pretty much I don't screech, but I slam on my brakes.
Yeah.
And I think it was like his mother or his grandma, probably abuela.
Yeah.
Grabbed him, and he fucking looked at me. This motherfucker, 10 years old, looked me up. He sized me up like I was the problem.
Yeah.
I was like, first off, I'm looking, and he's dead-eyed staring at me.
Oh, shit.
Eye contact the whole time. And then I give him the old, I give him the 2 fingers at my eyes, look at the road like you're not paying attention. Like, look.
Yeah.
He mean mugged me, bro. Like he was trying to say, what's up? And I'm thinking this fucking kid's got so much balls, dude.
10 years old.
Dude, 10, 12 tops. Yeah. Either way, this scrawny little piece of shit. And I'm thinking, this motherfucker got the best of the exchange. He got the best of this thing.
Yeah.
And I had to drive away like a little bitch. And I'm thinking, this motherfucker, I really did want to smack him.
Yeah.
Like, I should have got out of my car and be like, who the fuck do you think you are sizing me up? Like, you're the asshole, should have been apologetic.
Yeah.
I don't know. That just pissed me off.
Yeah, no, obviously 10 years old, that speaks to his ignorance, right? But at the same time, you're like, you little 10-year-old fuck. You know what that is? That is that I would bet that this little fuck doesn't have a dad.
something, right?
He doesn't have a dad.
no respect. Yeah.
Or at the very least, dad wasn't around. Like, dad's there, but he's not there. Speaking of that, don't date fucking people that don't have a dad. Seriously, they're nothing but problems. Unless you know how to handle yourself and you're man enough and you're woman enough to be able to deal with the fucking wreck of human beings that are out there.
All right. I mean, if there's no more positive note to leave on that than that.
Hey, if somebody runs across your car, fuck them up. And if they're 10 years old, fuck them up harder. People got to learn. I mean, do you want that little fuck procreating?
Honestly, I wanted to set an example, but like, what
would you do?
You can't do
turn on your
anything.
camera and then world star him?
No. What I wanted to do was treat his little ass.
Yeah.
But can you actually do that? No, you can't. You just gotta let it go and accept that he got the best of that exchange.
I'm proud of you. I think you were the bigger man.
I let it sit with me for a little bit though.
Oh, it got you going. You thought about it.
I'm like, this motherfucker, and I'm thinking like he won. Like if it's a win-lose, he won that thing.
So how do you feel now?
Just it's whatever. Good thing that I was fucking paying attention. I mean, I could have hit him easily, and I would have been. Obviously, I'm the one at fault.
Yeah,
but just
God forbid. But if a motherfucker would, oh shit! I hope God, can you imagine if your insurance lapse the day you hit somebody?
I'm sure you're going to jail if you hit somebody, don't you?
Yeah, I think you will.
Depending on the shit.
I was in a car that ran over like a 10-year-old.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my sister was driving. She was taking us to the movies, and I was in the backseat. I literally felt the car go over a speed bump, but it was not a speed bump. It was fucking little Julio.
Did he survive?
He did. He survived. He had knee
damage?
injury, shoulder injury.
A hospital?
Oh, yeah. Like wheelchair for
insurance get involved? How that
yeah. Thankfully, it was like a 3-cylinder, like Chevy. I think it was called a Chevy Spirit or something like that. Like a really tiny 3-cylinder car, way back when. But had we hit him with the fucking Hummer,
oh fuck!
You know what? We would. Yeah, it would be dunzo. There would be like hamburger meat.
Would you eat it? Would you eat that hamburger meat?
Depends how bad the economy is.
Right. All right, folks. We're going to end this bitch right here. We appreciate everyone who listens. Give us a like. Add more people. Tell more people to subscribe.
Yeah, tell people about us.
Dude, quit. Don't be scared.
Yeah, don't be a bitch. I'll run over you with a Subaru. And you don't want to be run over by a Subaru.
We fucking love you guys. We appreciate you guys. And we'll tune in next week. Is it this one?
Yep.